Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark. Today we are recapping the winter meetings. We had a few big free agent signings at the winter meetings, but I was really let down by the way the trade market went. There were some big rumors going into the meetings that we could see a lot of trades. There were scuba rumors and a big rumor about the Padres possibly doing something crazy, but no real impactful trades occurred. The first big free agent signing was Kyle Schwarber returning to the Phillies on a 5-year, $150 million deal. Schwarber had a monster contract year, finishing as the MVP runner-up, batting .240 with 56 home runs and a .928 OPS. It always felt like somewhat of a stretch for Schwarber to leave Philly, although there were reported a lot of teams interested in this player. 5 years, $150 million is a lot of money for a DH who will turn 33 on opening day, but I don't think the Phillies had a choice here. They had to retain their guy. I believe that he has surpassed Harper as the face of the Phillies. With Schwarber back in the fold, it should be really interesting to see what other moves the Phillies look to make this offseason. This has been a team that has failed to win the big one consistently over the years with this Schwarber, Harper, Trey Turner core. They still have JT Realmuto and Ranger Suarez out in free agency right now. I think it's pretty likely they bring back JT and less likely on Ranger. There's been some chatter about them trading Alec Boehm. That seems to happen every winter though. And it sounds like they would trade Nick Castellanos for basically a bag of balls at this point. To me, they have to make a couple of significant moves to shake up this roster besides just bringing back their own free agents. Next up here, the Mets were probably the biggest story of the winter meetings for all the wrong reasons. The Mets watched franchise player Pete Alonso sign a 5-year, $155 million deal with the Baltimore Orioles, and they also watched all-star closer Edwin Diaz sign a 3-year, $69 million deal with the Los Angeles Dodgers. We will start with Pete first. The Alonso departure from the Mets, I think, could be somewhat shocking from a fan perspective just based on attachment, but anyone who has observed this team saw how Pete's free agency went last year and has listened to anything David Stearns has said should not be surprised in the slightest. Pete is the worst defensive first baseman in the sport. The Mets have said time and time again, run prevention is their priority. Most of the rumors said the Mets weren't going past 3 years with Alonso. I can't really say I blame the Mets. 31 years old, already a massive liability in the field, and historically we have seen first basemen age horribly. I was kind of shocked by the number, 5 years, $155 million. It kind of feels like the Orioles outbid themselves considerably here, but they were aggressive and they got the player. It was reported that the Orioles matched the offer the Phillies made to Kyle Schwarber. When Schwarber agreed to sign back to Philly, that's when the Orioles pivoted to Pete and basically gave him the same contract. While his batting average has fluctuated over the years, Pete's power and run production has basically been as consistent as it gets. He has been pretty much a lock for 35 home runs, 100 RBIs every season. The Orioles are being aggressive this winter, and that's good to see them trying to contend. They still need a lot of help on the pitching front, but the new lineup looks like Holliday, Westberg, Henderson, Alonso, Rushman, Ward, Beavers, Cowser, and Basallo. I think there's a lot of question marks there, a lot of young kids, we're not sure what they quite are, but adding Alonso and Ward, two nice proven additions who can pencil in and you know exactly what kind of production you're getting. But with this rotation in place right now in the American League East, they still need to make probably two sizable, impactful additions to this group to be in a position to contend. Now for Edwin Diaz. This one feels a little bit different. It kind of felt like the Mets didn't want Pete Alonso, but they did want Edwin Diaz. The Mets brought in Devin Williams last week, and they made the signal or the motion that they want to pair up Diaz and Williams in the back end and really lock down games, but clearly Diaz had other plans. Edwin Diaz chose to join the two-time defending world champion Los Angeles Dodgers. You can't really blame him. He's an elite, phenomenal closer, and he's joined the Dodgers, giving himself the no-question best chance to win a championship. Diaz had a 1.63 ERA, a 0.87 whip, and 98 strikeouts in 66 innings in 2025. He was outstanding. There's been some weird drama around this. Apparently the Mets were shocked by Edwin leaving, saying he expressed that he always wanted to return to the Mets throughout this whole process. Some publications have kind of posted some fluffer, clickbaity stories, to me at least, citing he was offended he wasn't given a heads up by the Devin Williams signing first, which feels silly because Edwin had to have known he would still be the closer of this Mets team, and adding Devin only makes the bullpen and the team better. There was also a story out there that his brother Alexis loved his time with the Dodgers and raved about their facilities. Well, Alexis Diaz was designated for assignment after just 9 games, so I can't really put much stock into that one either. I think this was simply a situation where Edwin Diaz wanted to be a Dodger. Whether he dragged the Mets along or not, that's the reality of the situation. I also couldn't believe he only got a 3-year deal. Coming off that phenomenal contract year, I thought for sure 4 years at least, possibly 5, but 3 for 69 is not even close to the egregious contract I expected it to be when I got that alert that Edwin Diaz chose to sign with the Dodgers. Now, with Alonso and Diaz off the board, where do the Mets go next? They have been heavily linked to a lot of the high leverage relievers like Robert Suarez and Pete Fairbanks, so it feels like they'll snag one of those guys and still have a solid pen pairing the incoming addition with Devin Williams. As for Pete Alonso, I'm not quite sure where to look because they could go so many different directions here. As of right now, they have an opening at first base, left field, center field, and DH. It sounds like they're giving top prospect Carson Bench a shot in either left or center field. Maybe the Mets look at Mark Vientos as a possible bounce-back candidate after a bad year last year at either first base or DH. But I still do fully expect them to make at least 2 relatively significant additions to this lineup this offseason. The Mets came into this offseason as one of the most fascinating teams to follow, and I feel like that is only magnified as we exit these winter meetings. Overall, I feel like it was a pretty underwhelming winter meetings. 3 big free agents are off the board, of course, but no impactful trades when you had tons of rumors going in and 30 front office officials under the same roof for 4 days. That's a bummer. If you like this video, please hit subscribe. Hopefully everyone has a great day, and thank you so much for watching.